Hub City Spokes. We're talking with millennials living in the 806 this season. And today we have one of my friends, Yvonne Limon, my absolute favorite name to say.
Thank you.
Okay, so we've known each other for a few years with AWC.
Yes.
So are you from Lubbock originally?
Yes, born and raised.
Oh, fun. So what's it like? I'm so curious, like growing up in Lubbock and then you went to school here, I assume.
Yes.
Did you go to LCU?
Yes.
Okay, and then like getting a job, what's it been like seeing Lubbock through that progression?
You know, it's been amazing. I feel so fortunate. I started elementary school at Ramirez, which is kind of east side downtown Lubbock. Went to high school at Estacado, did the medical magnet program. And when I was there, 12 years ago, seems like forever ago, there was nothing there. And so, to be a part of a construction company that's such an encourager of downtown revitalization. It's fantastic just to see Lubbock growing and to see the population and the people grow as well.
Yeah, for sure. So did you experience a different Lubbock growing up than you have now? Like, what's it like, I guess? Because for me, it's always different to go back home, to where I'm from and see it with different eyes. Mm-hmm. And I feel like when I went to school at Tech, I saw Lubbock through a very specific kind of lens. And then, seeing it now working, it's different than too.
Oh yeah, definitely. My lens is probably a little more focused because I absolutely love Lubbock Christian, but it was a very strict, small lens when I went to college. So I did Leadership Lubbock in 2017, and I was absolutely fascinated, growing up here. I spent a quarter of a century here, and there was so much that I hadn't seen. Yeah. And even now, there's so much happening that it's exciting. So I feel like it's kind of grown with me, or I've grown alongside it.
Yeah, for sure. You mentioned Leadership Lubbock. What exactly is that? I know a few people who've gone through it, but I wasn't sure.
Yeah, so it's through the Lubbock Chamber of Commerce, and they take every year about 60, I was going to say students, but 60 people in the workforce, and just show them all of the sights and sounds of Lubbock and kind of the hidden gems, and just promote what a great city we live in.
That's so cool. So you'll kind of become like ambassadors on your own right.
Oh, totally. Totally.
What, from that experience, like what surprised you, I guess, having grown up here and then going through that program?
I think just the people. There's so many great people that just have come in the last decade. There's so many new companies and so many new buildings, and there's so many creative new people that are coming. And I definitely think that the arts are gonna flourish in the next 5 to 10 years. And I'm so excited about that.
Yeah. Y'all have a really exciting project coming up too with Lee Lewis and Buddy Holly Hall.
Yes, it's been super exciting. I started right when they broke ground. So it also has special meaning because I'm like, wow, that's how long I've been here. This building could be built in 3 years. So.
Yeah, I know. It's so cool too for it being like right in the center of like the arts district. Mm-hmm. And like you mentioned, downtown, there's just so much life to it. And so it's so vibrant, like with the music district to the south and everything. Mm-hmm. That's awesome.
Yeah. Well, and I've been impressed. Even being in a pandemic, I'm on the Luca board, and just seeing like First Friday Art Trail and all the creative ways that they are still getting the arts, not only, to the community, but to children, and just having that creative outlet. I've been super impressed with how Lubbock has just stepped up to provide that for everyone.
Yeah, definitely. I love your hat. That's so so perfect working in construction.
It's easy to find amongst all the men I work with.
Yeah, there you go.
No one grabs my hard hat.
So how did you make your way into working for Lee Lewis?
It was primarily through AWC, the Association for Women in Communications. I've been a part of that since 2013, and we get job openings that come through. Yeah. And I think I was 23, and I saw the job description, and I was like, you know what, let me just apply. What's the worst that could happen? And I applied. She took my resume, heard nothing. And I was like, oh my gosh.
That's always like the hardest.
The worst. And then fast forward 2 years, and she called me out of the blue and was like, do you want to come work for me? And I was like, wow, absolutely. Where do I sign up? And it's been the best decision. And I feel like that's one benefit of being in Lubbock. I don't know any other city that would keep your resume for that long and be able to, one of the things she said is, she was like, I've watched you kind of, on LinkedIn and through social media, and I've seen how you grow, and I feel like now is the time for you. And I mean, what a blessing to have an employer, watch and say, now's the time. And I feel like that's just one of the benefits of living in Lubbock, where you can, even though you're not with the company, you can grow into a job there.
Yeah, that's so much like intentionality for her to, just kind of watch your progression in your career and like know this is the right time for me to try to.
She was like, not in a creepy way. And I was like, I didn't even take it that way.
I mean, everybody looks at LinkedIn. To a degree, like having social media, it's creepy in some way or another because you're having to, That's so funny. So what are some things that you maybe didn't expect working in construction or, some interesting things about your job?
There's so much. Going into something that I knew absolutely nothing about. I mean, my degree is in visual communications, so I specialize in graphic design. I was super scared because I was like, I know nothing. I mean, I can, I know like a hammer and a nail, but you ask me anything else and I'm like, I don't know. But it's just like every other business, and it's very culture oriented, and it's all about the people. And that's one thing that I've learned here in Lubbock is regardless of the industry, everyone is so nice and so welcoming and so willing to help, and they teach you, and so it's been a blessing.
Yeah. So if someone were to ask you, they're maybe thinking about moving back, and maybe they're considering getting a job here in Lubbock, what would you say to them?
I would say come back. I mean, it's fantastic. You can buy a home. You don't have to live in a small space. You can establish those roots. And I think, I think it's important to have wings per se for a little bit. I travel quite a bit. Well, not right now, but I traveled quite a bit with my job, and it's a nice little getaway, but I'm always so ready to come back home and just be with my people.
Yeah. Whenever you were kind of looking at, you're graduating from school and deciding on a job, what made you decide to stay in Lubbock?
I think it's just been the professors and the networking. I saw that y'all were interviewing Brianna Vella later.
Yeah.
She and I joke around that we've grown together. We met in college and now we're colleagues. And, you can literally start your network when you're 18 years old. And to me, that's
so invaluable. Yeah, absolutely. It's all about, knowing who to call or knowing how you can get information you need to get, or
absolutely
connecting to people that need to know each other. And that's awesome. So cool. Well, we appreciate your story. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. This is great.
For more stories, check out podcast.lubbockeda.org.